What's going on, Lauren, with the TMF podcast here on Planet Podcast, and welcome back to another recap of The Blacklist, one of my favorite shows. So I found a few things interesting on this episode. If you haven't watched it, it was episode 6. Pause the video, watch it, come back, we'll talk about it. If you have watched it, let's get into it. But first, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If you want more content, check out the link in the description for merch. I am sporting today my undisputed Dustin Poirier, the Diamond t-shirt, because he is fighting tomorrow night, and I think he is going to dethrone Charles Oliveira. I believe Dustin is going to win, but let's get on with the video. So I like the Blacklist on this one. I thought it was fun. The therapist, kind of coaxing killers into being okay with killing people. Thought it was fun, but it kicked off with a little bit of Cooper, right? So Cooper's little situation with this smoking gun that happens to be his gun. So we see him meet with his little confidant there, his little buddy in the agency, and Cooper doesn't want any favors. Cooper is too good for his own good, right? I don't think that Cooper killed that dude. I don't think he killed him in the least bit. I think someone definitely planted it there. One thing I noticed off the bat for this, actually, I take it back. I didn't even notice it off the bat. I noticed it after I watched the show, and I went back and watched some parts again. Where was Wrestler? Wrestler is not in this episode at all. Found that a little weird. They didn't touch on that in the least bit. But they did have some good character building narratives. So we obviously had Agnes play a big role with Reddington in this episode. We saw Reddington get to spend time with Agnes, and Agnes just, being a kid, she just says stuff because kids don't have a filter. So she said that Reddington was from Russia, not from here, that he was super important in her life, which got Red's mind just running, right? And it leads Red to the letter that he told Keen to open when he died. And it led him to wondering if Keen had read the letter and if that had ultimately changed her mind on killing him. And so we saw this kind of play out, which unfolds to the fact that Keen's fingerprints were on the letter, which means Dembe gave Keen the letter, and Keen probably read it prior to meeting Reddington to take him out that night that she died. And her hesitation, not wanting to kill him, Red is now going to associate that with the reason that Keen is dead. And maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. I mean, she definitely froze. And so now I think what's going to happen is Red is going to blame Dembe for Keen's death. And if Dembe is constantly fighting a battle of what he knows and what Reddington wants him to let other people know. And to be completely fair, Dembe did the most. He's probably the most loyal person on the show ever. He didn't give up anything to anybody. He never sold Keen nothing. And he knows the full truth about everything. If anyone out there knows, it's Dembe. So now we have Dembe working for the FBI, and he's just kind of, I like his new role. I do. I like him hunting down bad guys, and he's got this back and forth with Reddington. I think he's about to really be on the opposite end of Raymond Reddington. And I don't know how that's going to unfold, because Raymond is going to have a hell of a time dealing with Dembe. But at the same time, he's dealt with people that were important to him before. So we'll see where this goes with Dembe. We also saw a little bit unfold with Agent Park. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. Her battling these demons, and her husband kind of hitting it like maybe he's got some skeletons in his closet, she's got some. So we'll see where that goes. I'm not super interested in Park. I'm just not. She's just not that exciting of a character to me. And then we wrap it up with Cooper getting a phone call with a voice disguiser saying basically this guy's blackmailing Cooper. So I want to see where this goes, because Cooper's buddy pulled a rabbit out of a hat, changed the ballistics on the weapon, pretty much frees Cooper up to go look for the guy who actually committed the crime. But the guy knows what happened. So I'm going to say that it's somebody in the probably somebody in the FBI that is framing Cooper. That's where I'm going to place my bet on that. And I think the next episode, I didn't see a preview for it, but I think the next one is going to definitely dive into Raymond versus Dembe. I think this season is going to unfold to Raymond versus Dembe. Someone has to take the place of Keen on the show, right? And not her character, but the role that she played, which ended up being a person who was super loyal and a big part of Raymond's life. Now, Keen wasn't super loyal, but she was loyal to an extent for most of the show, right? In the end, it kind of turned different, but she's got to be someone that Raymond cares about deeply, but has a huge conflict with that he is wrestling with. So I'm curious to see how that ends up playing out. I think it's going to be a really good sense of drama for this character. For both of them. I don't know that Dembe is going to respond as well. I think Dembe's made up his mind. He just wants to do good. He kind of wants to repent for doing a bunch of bad shit with Raymond most of his life. We'll see where this goes. But I'm excited to see next week's episode. Hopefully. So we'll probably get one more episode before the holiday break, and then we'll be gone for weeks, and that'll be a bummer. But let me know what you think is going to happen. Hope you guys enjoy the show as much as I do, and I'll see you on the next video.